is being conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave, on the Township website, and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall. We request anyone wishing to address council, please wait for the mayor to recognize you. Please state your name and address for the record, and please remember that all comments must be kept to under 3 minutes.
Thank you. Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance, a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad?
Here.
Councilmember Coombs?
Here.
Councilmember Roy?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Perry?
Here.
Mayor Sippel.
Here. Okay, right down to the work session, we have the oath of office for Officer Anthony Pratt, actually, and Samuel Delora. So at this time, I'll ask Officer Anthony Pratt and whoever's going to pin him and hold the Bible, please come forward. The rest of the PD officers can more than welcome to come forward. Take pictures anytime you want. It's kind of informal, so let's enjoy yourself for a few minutes here. Council going to join me? Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if he wants me to read this into the record. I don't know who's holding the Bible.
State your name. I, Anthony Pratt, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
on the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially, and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of physician of,
of the position of
patrolman,
patrolman
for the Township of Lower Police Department,
for the Township of Lower Police Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Your picture taken? All right, the chief's next. Be on the bed list, come over here.
You got one more.
Thank you.
This is good. state your name.
I, Samuel Jeweler,
Swear to support the Constitution of the United States
swear I'll support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same,
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the
that I will
people,
faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
partially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
position of patrolman
position of patrolman
for the Township of Lower Police Department
for the Township of Lower Police Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my
so
ability,
help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I did not.
It didn't last long.
Try to get one with.
Yeah, it was.
You look this way for 1 second.
Why'd he tell him?
That fast move we talked about, Peg?
Thank you, sir.
There.
We'll take a 2-minute recess until the police department leaves the room. Oh, Bruce's cap. Okay, that's a quick 2 minutes. We'll move right down to Mr. Laffey and the CFO, Lauren Reed, to talk about the budget.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to read the 2021 budget amendment. Wanted to thank CFO for all the hard work she did squaring that away, as well as other departments and so forth. On Friday, June 4th, we received local finance notice number 2021-11 from New Jersey Department of Community Affairs instructing us how to account for and utilize the American Rescue monies that will be distributed to all municipalities. Lower Township's allotment is $2,233,522.29. We're receiving half of that this year and half of that next year. So we reduced the amount being taken from fund balance by $500,000, which improves our ability to replenish at year end. We added $262,000 in capital expenditures, including police vehicles, in-car cameras for our police vehicles, solar speed limit signs, and computers. We also added security cameras for our parks. These purchases can be done without waiting for a capital ordinance and are fully funded in the budget, so we don't won't incur debt from them. Finally, we reduced the amount to be raised by taxes by $365,168.45, bringing down the tax increase from almost 2 cents to 1 cent. This approach is a balanced and responsible and will help shore up the financial position of Lower Township. I also wanted to add that estimated tax bills will be mailed out June 30th, 2021. This bill will be for the third quarter payment with the due date of August 1st, 2021. We're sending estimates again this year because the county and many other municipalities haven't adopted their budgets. Homeowners receive a final bill for 2021, preliminary 2022 by September 30th, 2021. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Leffy. And Lauren, you want to add anything to that or not?
I'd just like to thank the department heads for all their, and all the departments for their patience.
Okay.
A bit of a longer process than usual, but
Yes, thank you. We actually delayed the amendment to the budget until we get more clarification from the state on spending some of the money, and it paid off because we're actually able to cut the tax increase in half for this year, so it was well worth waiting. So does any member of council have any comments on 2021-176 to amend this budget?
No, I think it was pretty well stated, and it's a big decrease, and that's going to help all the taxpayers. We had a rough year, and we got it down. I want to thank the CFO, all the department heads, and the manager for all the hard work they did, because really the credit goes to them.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lauren. I think that when the budget was first introduced, I was a little skeptical there with that increase, and I knew it was really tough, and you did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Just want to thank you as well, everybody, with all the hard work. Thank you.
Good job.
Okay, any member of the public want to comment on this resolution to amend the budget? Okay, we'll close the public portion.
Resolution number 2021-176. This is an amendment to the 2021 budget.
Is there a motion to move forward?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Coombs?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Resolution number 2021-177. This is the adoption of the 2021 budget as amended.
Any council comments? Any public comment? Close the public portion.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Coombs?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Excuse me. Deputy Mayor Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Yes. Okay, we'll move down to the consent agenda. Any council comments on this? Councilman Coombs, you want to kick off here?
Sure. The ordinance 2021-15, first reading, the night on speed limits. This is in regards to Bay Drive. We're doing a speed limit reduction to 25 miles per hour. In addition to that, there's some other Bay Drive improvements going to take place shortly. June 21st, approximately. Center lines and shoulder lines painted from Wildwood Avenue to Mallow, which is the S-turn. There has been a traffic study already completed. We're going to be purchasing solar-powered radar speed limit signs to be there installed in the near future.
All right, good stuff. I'd like to actually make a comment. Are you finished, Councilman?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'd like to make a comment on the ordinance 2021-13 that talks about amending our land development code of Lower Township to designate Class 5 cannabis retail licenses and Class 6 cannabis delivery licenses as conditional uses in GB1 and industrial zone and district. On November 3rd, when the general election, New Jersey voters approved legalizing marijuana by a margin around 67% in favor and 33% against. In Lower Township, that number was even greater, with around 70% in favor and 30% against, with 8,690 residents voting yes and 3,852 residents voting no. This ordinance was sent to our planning board for review on May 21st. Council received a memo back from the planning board The planning board found the proposed ordinance consistent with the Lower Township Master Plan and Land Development Ordinance and recommends approval of the ordinance. Marijuana and cannabis has been here, will continue to be here in Lower Township. Council recently passed an ordinance making it illegal to smoke marijuana in any public place. It can only be used on private property. State law is written so the municipality cannot stop the delivery of cannabis products in this town. For example, if Lower Township prohibits the sale of cannabis, a resident can simply pick up the phone and have it delivered to their front door, which is perfectly legal by the state. In return, the neighbor's municipality selling the cannabis will receive between 2 to 3% of revenue from the sale. If passed, there will be 2 licenses in Lower Township, one in each zone mentioned. There will be strict standards in place, i.e. hours of operations. They cannot be located within 1,000 feet of any residential structure, firehouse, school, playground, public building, beach, recreation facility, library, or public institution. The bottom line is cannabis is here, and we cannot stop it. It's a state law signed by the governor. If this ordinance is passed, it will give the voters what they asked for, at the same time provide a revenue stream to help offset our taxes. Anybody else on council want to comment on the consent agenda?
Just real quick, Resolution 2021-196. We're finally awarding the bid for the contract to fix Clem Mulligan up. We'll have a park like we should have, and it will be a nice job.
Any other council comments? I do want to comment on one more resolution, the 2021-197. That's amending the resolution 2020-321, basically allowing the temporary site plan approvals for these restaurants to serve on their outdoor setting to expand their business to the outside. It expires the first week of June. We've now extended to the end of November of this year. So, anybody from the public want to comment on the consent agenda only? Close the public portion.
Approval of the minutes, May 17th, 2021. Resolutions 2021-178 through 2021-202. Ordinance number 2021-13. An ordinance amending Chapter 400, Land Development of the Code of the Township of Lower to designate Class 5 cannabis retail licenses and Class 6 cannabis delivery license as conditional use in the GB1 and Industrial Zoning District. Ordinance number 2021-14, an ordinance amending Chapter 432, mercantile licenses, specifically subsection 4, annual license for mercantile licenses of the Township of Lower, in order to establish annual licensing and registration fees in relation to cannabis, retail, and delivery businesses. And ordinance 2021-15, an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Article 12, Schedule 16, entitled Speed Limits of the Code of the Township of Lower. This is the first reading and public hearing of all 3 of these ordinances. This is the first reading of these ordinances. The second reading and public hearing for these ordinances have been scheduled for Tuesday, July 6th at 5 p.m.
Okay, is there a motion to move forward?
Motion.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Coombs?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2021-12, an ordinance amending Chapter 67, Municipal Utilities Authority of the Code of the Township of Lower. This is to amend the salary for the board members. This is the second reading and public hearing of this ordinance. This ordinance has been published, posted, and made available to the public.
Any council comments?
Real quick, just so the public knows, this is budget neutral. This does not affect your taxes in any way. This is an MUA matter that we have to approve.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any comment from the public? Close the public portion. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Coombs?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Perry?
Yes.
Mayor Sippel?
Yes. Okay, Mark, do you have an engineer report? You want to add anything tonight, or not?
I was just here to answer any questions you have relative to the 2 items on the agenda.
Okay.
About streets, grants, but our report's usually on second meeting.
Right, I didn't want to leave you out of the meeting, though. I saw you here tonight. Didn't know if you wanted to come up and talk about anything, but we're good with that, though. Mr. Laffey, anything else? You good?
No, sir.
Okay. We open to the public. As the clerk mentioned before the meeting, It's a public comment. It's not designed for questions and answers. It's limited to 3 minutes or less, so if anybody has any comments from the public, please come forward and state your name and address.
Mike Rosenberg, Villas. I was just wondering if we have a price or the amount that we're going to charge for the cannabis license.
In the ordinance.
It's already in the ordinance, it's spelled out. If you,
I didn't see it.
or you don't have a copy of the ordinance, Mr. DeFrank or Mr. Laffey probably can
One of us will put it.
help with that.
Just hang on, I'll give it to you.
2,000.
I'll give you my number. Is it?
It's $2,000.
2,000?
$2,000 for the license?
Yes.
I thought we could go a little higher on that. I mean, the liquor licenses are real high, so.
I think the problem is they don't have a regulation yet right on point that sets the ceiling or the scope, so we're kind of flying it blindly. But eventually, the state's going to weigh in and tell the municipalities what they're allowed to charge. They do that for the liquor licenses.
Yeah, I hope it's pretty high.
Well, so do we.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Ray Flickinger, Washington Boulevard, North Cape May. It was good news for all the taxpayers of the township that some of that money was coming back, and seems good news that it'll be split over this year and next year. Congratulations, you made the right move holding off, of course. The other two things I was asking, is there going to be an Escape to Cape and a Douglas Combe race, which we had prior to this COVID, we had to be put off for a while. Maybe the information's out already, but I haven't heard about it at all.
Can you answer that, Mike?
Possibility anyway of getting.
Yeah, we're doing the Escape to Cape, and that's at the end of August. The date of, I really think it's the 27th. I don't have it in front of me, I'm sorry. We did cover it at a different meeting, but I can look that up. If you give me your name, I'll reach out to you. And we'll probably do some press releases really soon, and Lauren will put that out there for us on our Facebook page and website.
That's great news, because not a whole lot of people down our way know that it was happening yet. I guess it hasn't been out in the news.
Well, usually it happens a lot sooner, but they postponed it to August, hoping
Right.
that the things will be lifted a little bit more like they have, and we'll be able to have more participation for the event.
That's great news, along with all the concerts coming back. That's a super thing.
Yeah, right.
A lot of local residents like that, plus their visitors, they come and all. But anything on the Douglas Combs race ever coming back? It had been in there for over 20 years until this came along. It was in the summertime, and it was in memorial to Douglas.
I don't recall when they did that, because it used to be in May back when I worked here the last time, but I know that that's more in the summertime. And they combine the races together, the Douglas and the Coombs race. I'll have to check with Mitch Plant over at the Recreation Department to see if they had started the planning of that event.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Close the public portion. We'll go to council comments, and we'll start with Councilman Conrad first.
Got a busy couple weeks. We got summer here. Be safe. Go vote tomorrow. Have a good night.
Thank you, Councilman Coombs.
A couple other things in addition to what I already mentioned about Bay Drive. I did notice that there was some concern about the speeding on Washington Boulevard, and I talked to the chief about that, and he already replaced the sign out that indicates radars are in use, so that's a good thing. Bay Shore Road, tentatively scheduled for emergency paving on June 21st, June 22nd. Hopefully, fingers crossed, keep that. And I visited the ferry terminal to check out how the Exit Zero was doing with the On the Rocks place down there, and it's very good. You have to try the hot chicken sandwich. Definitely one of the best.
Is it hot or spicy and hot?
It's hot and hot.
All right. Councilman Roy?
I'll just reiterate Councilman comment, Conrad's comments regarding voting tomorrow. It is the primary election. If you haven't already mailed in your ballot, you can vote in person at your polling places. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor.
I'd like to thank our engineer for coming tonight in case there were any questions. I'd just like to reiterate to the public that we are working hard to try to fix and repair and in some cases replace infrastructure, meaning stormwater runoff, road paving, so on and so forth. Our engineer's been working very hard with trying to gather grant money for us to be able to accomplish some of these tasks, which alleviates the tax burden on our people here. So we are moving forward as fast as we possibly can and as hard as we possibly can for infrastructure improvements in the township.
That it? Okay. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'd like to thank Lauren Suit for our newsletter. Our summer edition's out. They come out every 2 months. We're doing our best to provide communication with the residents of Lower Township. As a reminder, we have a brand-new website. Go on the website, a lot of information there for you. I want to thank Councilman Coons for working Bay Drive. The Lower Township Police Department has awarded a grant for their body-worn cameras from the state, so that's a good thing. They'll purchase all new cameras for a total of $124,318 money is going towards the purchase of the cameras. I guess the last thing I have, we had the grand opening for the Nimnicht Park recently, and Mrs. Ackroyd, first grade class, came over to the the park rather, and helped us cut the ribbon, and they sent us, myself and council, a thank you card, and I'll kind of just put it up there. Thank you for inviting our class to play on the new playground. We had so much fun. Loved the spinning part, the slides, and the swings. It was an honor to be in the ceremony. Thank you for letting us help cut the ribbon. Love the Ackroyds, and they all signed their name, and they all drew cards for council too. So that was a nice thing from the school. And that's all I have. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous.